Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today, first of all, I'm using a microphone because the dog is so loud in the background and I'm really hoping that the microphone will cut out the snoring noises because it is so loud today. And also this is like the brightest area that I can find to film. It's so dark. It's November. It's almost Christmas. So I'm not going to be doing any specific Black Friday content this year because if you didn't need it the rest of the year, you don't need it for 20% off. If you have a specific wish list, go for it. Enjoy your shopping day. But I don't want to make you feel like, oh, these things are all on offer, you need to buy them today, because you don't. You absolutely don't. You can wait. It'll probably be on sale again in January. However, for those of you who have been waiting for some reviews for specific items, maybe you are gift buying, maybe you are thinking of things that you want for yourself for Christmas to tell people, you know, I would like this. I thought I would bring forward my best of the year series and do it in November instead. So this is kind of pre-Black Friday, but for real, if you can't afford to shop on Black Friday, don't shop on Black Friday. And this comes from, I will be putting out candle stuff. Like, I have a business. I will be sending out emails, buy our candles. If you cannot afford to shop, if you cannot afford to be superfluously just adding to cart, just avoid the internet. Just a few days, just avoid it. I'm also going to put together something kind of the opposite of this, in a bit of a, these are the things that you don't need, because there's definitely things that I have tried, maybe even things that I have wanted throughout the year and then realized I'm really glad that I didn't buy that. So I'm going to do that as well. So, you know, look out for a little bit of anti-shopping content before Christmas arrives. But for now, here are my absolute favorites of the year. This is going to be a 3-part series. We're going to start with skin and hair. First, I have this. This is called the Foreo Luna Plus 4. I use this every single day. Lee uses this every single day. I know a difference in my skin when I'm not using it. I think that this is like the fully loaded one. I was sent this years ago at this point, but it's got like red light. It's got some kind of microcurrent thing on the back that I never use. If this was to break, I would go out and buy the basic Foreo facial brush, because I think the thing that is amazing about this for me is the vibrations and the little bristles that makes my skin feel super, super clean. I don't usually wash my face in the kitchen, but for the purposes of this, also this cleanser is really not good for this. You want kind of like a foaming cleanser, but in the interest of using what I have and not just repurchasing, I've just been using whatever cleanser I have on hand with this brush, and I really, really couldn't be without it. I've had lots of questions about the different devices that I use and whether or not I would recommend them. Well, this is the only other one I'm mentioning, I'm including in this list, because those are the 2 things that I have used consistently. I've definitely been using this at least 3 times a week all year, average of 3 times a week. Sometimes I'll use it every single day. Sometimes I might only use it a couple of times. But it definitely makes a difference with, variety of things. I think that it helps with my complexion, like the brightness of my skin. It supposedly does help with fine lines. I don't have the evidence on myself to show you whether or not that is true. But for me, it's mostly uneven skin tone that I'm trying to deal with. And also when I get breakouts, because I still do at 39, a lot of stuff around my jaw, particularly because of hair removal. And no, I don't have polycystic ovaries. That's what people always ask me. And as far as I'm aware, I don't. But I do have an excess of hair that I remove on my face. Excess for me. And so one of the things that I really do think this helps with is getting that redness down and helping that to heal a little bit quicker. We will get to that. I've got some other things that I use for that. But the red light mask, I have the original version. This is from Current Body. And if this were to go away, I would buy the new version in a heartbeat. I think I bought this. I was sent a couple of things from Current Body at the same time. I think I bought this and they sent me the new face, which, or it could have been the other way around, I can't remember. Either way, I was like on board for both at the time. The new face I would recommend, but I haven't used it this year enough to include it in this list. And I am also testing out something called the Zip. And my plan is to do like a head-to-head. So I'll just do a little like short video or something for you where I use one on one side of my face, one on the other side of my face, and I'll show you like, these are the results, you decide for yourself. And then I've got some like opinions about ergonomics and stuff, but I didn't want to include those in this video because they really weren't my favorites of the year. This, 100%. I love it. I can put it on. I can walk around the house. It's not wireless, but it's not attached to a plug. I can put it on whenever I want. My only issue with this is it's massively gapped, like here. It's like this far away from my chin. And especially, I mean, this is fantastic for the hyperpigmentation, which is mostly around this area. So for evening out my skin tone here, it's pressed to my skin. That's great. Super comfortable, not a problem at all. But when I am wanting to deal with the jaw area and the breakouts that I have specifically around my lower face, I have to do this. I have to hold it to my face like this. And that's not particularly hands-free. It's not particularly comfortable. It's kind of annoying. So take from that what you will. I know there are loads of different brands that make these kinds of masks now. I've had this for years. It's still going strong. It still charges fine. I don't think there's any kind of problem with it. Although I wouldn't be able to tell you if the LED was still, as effective as it was on day one. But just from my layman's perspective, I do really like this still. I wouldn't buy the new one purely because it's like molded around the chin. I wouldn't because I have this. But if this broke and I was to replace it, I would definitely go with the upgrade because it is annoying to have to do this. Sometimes I put like a headband around my face to hold it, and that's really attractive. One SPF to rule them all. This is the L'Oreal Bright Reveal. It's the dark spot UV fluid. Honestly, I don't think this makes any difference which one you buy. There's like vitamin C versions. There's loads of different versions of these, and I think they're all exactly the same. The thing that makes it special is that it is like a fluid. Do you remember when the Body Shop first released their SPF and it was like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's completely different to any other SPF that we've ever had. We previously only had like the thick SPF that you would put like on your body and your face as a kid. This is like very, very thin. It absorbs really nicely into the skin. It works really nicely under makeup. It is the one SPF that I have used, maybe this, and there was a Vichy one that I really liked. It was very similar. But the one SPF that I've used that I've been like, it makes no sense not to use this underneath my makeup every day. It just, like, because I do still get breakouts, that was one of the things that used to put me off. I was like, it's going to be a bit of an issue because it's going to break me out. This never breaks me out. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel like it's creating that pilling or adding extra layers of anything. It's just very, very thin, absorbs very quickly. For that reason, I would recommend it. E45 is on my list. I don't have it to show you because I've finished it. And at the moment, I'm using other things. Again, purely because I'm not buying things just to buy them. I'm waiting to finish things up before I repurchase the things that I love. E45 is not like a luxury, but it's, I have other things that I can use. If you are looking for especially if you use a lot of retinols and stuff like that, if you're looking for something that's going to repair your skin because you've gone a little bit too hard on things like glycolic acids or retinols, anything, if you think that your skin is peeling or it's red or it feels sore, E45 is a wonder cream and it costs practically nothing. They actually started making a skincare specific one because this is like it's something that you would have on hand for kids and stuff. It's something that my granddad always had because he had eczema. It wasn't anything, it wasn't anything that you would think of for your skincare, but I think it's very, very similar to the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast balm that I used to use at a fraction of the price. I'm going to have to move because my feet are going to go to sleep if I sit like this any longer. The moisturizer I chose for the year is the Khiels Ultra Facial Cream. Now, something I have mentioned in the past in my videos is the issue with PR is that you have those products put in your hands. And especially because I am trying to use what I've got and not go out and buy things for no reason at all, some of the products you're going to see in this video will be because I was sent them in PR and so I had them. If I've got a moisturizer, I'm not going to go out of my way to buy another moisturizer. It's wasteful. It makes no sense. But because of that, I have used this a lot this year. Now, I will say I have also purchased one myself, and that's why I felt a little bit more comfortable adding this to the list. But it has been the one that I've used all year. You don't need a tremendous amount of it. If you have got still like oily-ish skin, this is still light enough that you don't feel like you're really, really weighing down your skin. I like to mix it in with an oil in the wintertime, which I don't have one particular one that I love. Facial oils. Where did they go? I use relatively cheap ones, but I'm really struggling to find facial oils on the market. It seems like serums have just completely replaced them. But the Ultra Facial Cream from Khiels is, well, this one is completely done pretty much. But it's super, super lightweight. I don't want to waste it on the back of my hand, but it's super, super lightweight. I'm going to put it on my face. And again, absorbs really, really quickly. If you want to wear it underneath makeup, it works really nicely that way. But it feels so nice, especially having just done that facial cleansing brush. My skin feels so smooth. It just like, it feels like, as I'm putting it on, it feels like it's absorbing straight away. It feels fresh and cool, and I love it. I do have a couple of less expensive moisturising type things I'm going to mention in a second, which have a similar effect, so just stay with me. I was also going to mention the Pixi eye masks that I used a lot this year, but I don't have them to show you because I don't have them anymore. I'm not going to repurchase them because I now have some reusable ones. So I will give an honourable mention to those because I've been using those for years. They come in this hard plastic case. They're like a kind of jelly type, like a biocellulose type mask. It doesn't make any sense because it feels really, really wasteful. But again, I kept being sent them. I haven't bought them myself for a very long time, although I have in the past. And I really wanted this year to try some reusable eye masks. I bought some cheap ones on Amazon and they weren't very good. And then I ended up buying these from someone who I chat with on Instagram, and she said she was selling them and would I want to buy them off her? Yes, I would. These are the Dew, I think it is. It's Dieux. And what I do is put on an eye cream, any eye cream. I don't have any particular, I do really like the Khiels one, but I don't have any particular like, oh, I love this so much, it has to be this one. Just whatever eye cream I have. And then I put on the eye mask over the top and go about my day. I'm not usually doing this before I put on makeup because who has the kind of time, unless it's like a special occasion. But I'll put on my eye patches and probably edit or do something around the house. Cute, right? Cute. And they really do adhere nicely to the skin. They're thin enough, they're flexible enough that they don't feel like thick or like they're peeling off. It doesn't feel any different really than the ones that I had from Pixi, the thin gel ones, but it's way less wasteful. And I mean, you could even just put your moisturizer on underneath them. Just like it stops it from evaporating. This is the whole thing of a sheet mask. It stops it from evaporating into the air. You keep that product. I have used these with like a thicker eye cream, and when I take them off, there's still a thick layer of eye cream. So in my mind, they're absorbing, my skin is absorbing as much as possible. And it's not just like, dancing out into the air. So I'm really, really liking those. Curel is a brand that I discovered maybe last year, I want to say. I really like this stuff. This is the Intensive Moisture Care Moisture Facial Milk. I mentioned this recently as a product that I would like to apply with some oil underneath my makeup to give me a more like glowy and a more flattering vibe, more flattering appearance. And again, it's a really, really thin moisturizer that feels super lightweight and fresh. It's just going to be like layers upon layers of moisture on the skin today. But it feels so nice. Again, if you want to put that on as like one of your many layers, one of your many steps of skincare of an evening, or you want to put it on in the morning, underneath your makeup, your SPF, whatever else you're using, it's a really, really nice thin moisture layer that doesn't feel too heavy. And it's especially at this time of year when I'm wanting to protect my skin from the elements. Even if I'm not wearing makeup, it's just nice to have a little bit of moisturizer on before you leave the house, isn't it? And then this isn't what it looks like. This says Elizabeth Arden 8 Hour Miracle Hydrating Mist, which I do love, but it's not this. This is the Curel, I think it's called like hydrating water. It usually comes in a bottle exactly like this, but it's liquid. And I wanted to put it in a spray bottle. So when I ran out of my Elizabeth Arden, I put it in here. Best decision ever. And I actually have this down. I inhaled a little bit too much of it then. I actually have this downstairs. And whenever I walk past this mirror up here, I just spritz myself. I don't usually use it as like every single time I do my skincare or before my makeup or whatever. It's more of a top up throughout the day. When I come downstairs from my bath in an evening, I've usually done my cleansing and stuff at night. And if I'm not quite ready to do my skincare yet, I'll come downstairs and spritz my face with that so that my skin doesn't get too dry immediately after cleansing and being in like a hot bath environment. But I really like this, and I honestly don't know whether or not I would repurchase the Elizabeth Arden now I've had this in this spray bottle, because it does basically the same thing at not a fraction of the price, because the Elizabeth Arden you can find at a good deal, but it's definitely cheaper. And when that's on sale, it's definitely a fraction of the price. The Pixi Glow Tonic, very quick honourable mention, because again, the reason I have this is because Pixi keeps sending it to me. I haven't had the reason to purchase another glycolic acid in a very long time. So this is what I use all the time, but it's not necessarily because, oh, I've tried them all and this is the best. It's because I have it. I do use this everywhere. So I put this on my face, I put it on my chest, my arms, but I also have glycolic acid in a spray bottle, and I will put that on my back, just anywhere else that I can't reach, because it really helps if you are someone who, like, I've always struggled with acne elsewhere on my body. And it's not so bad now I'm 39, but it's still there occasionally. I'll still get like the occasional spot, but it's like a leftover, it's like a hangover feeling from being young. I hate the feeling of, I have this in my mind that I just want the smoothest possible skin, because it was never smooth when I was a teenager. So it helps to get rid of any of those bumps. It really helps to make my skin feel smooth. And I do that straight out of the bath, and then I moisturize and I feel like everything's just like locked in. Skin and Me, I've been using Skin and Me for years at this point. I did originally do a video showing like 6 months progress. You can find that somewhere on my YouTube channel. At the moment, what I've got in here is tretinoin, niacinamide, and azelaic acid. And how I apply this now, I'll remove my masks for you. How I now apply this, I used to put it all over my face, and I am kind of prone to a little bit of dryness. I ran out of space on my memory card then. Right, so how I use it now is I will focus it on this area. Now, obviously that means that I'm getting more than prescribed on one specific area, but I'll make my peace with it in the E45 later, because when I do apply this a little bit more heavily in these areas, it makes such a massive difference to my, I think I've done 2 twists then. I thought I was just finishing the original twist. Okay, this is too much product, so just take that with a pinch of salt. This is not as much product as I would usually put on. But imagine this was just one twist. You apply one pump of that or one twist of that every single day. The whole thing is that you've got exactly the right amount of product for the month. It's like contained within the aluminium, so it's going to be fresh for that month. All the active ingredients are still effective. And then you get it sent to your door every single month. It's fantastic. You then send updates to show people, whoever it is, the prescriber people, the dermatologists, in theory, you're showing them your face. Here's what it looks like now. They ask if you want to make any changes. They would say if your face looks a particular kind of way, they might recommend changes, or they might up your percentages of your active ingredients, which has happened to me over time. So I do it like this because I am trying to focus on any kind of fine lines up here. I mean, I say fine lines, a big old deep line here, but doing this is really the problem. And mostly it is about evening out that skin tone around here because of my melasma. So I will really focus on the kind of outer areas of my face, and I specifically avoid anything around my nose and around my chin area, because these little creases here, it's an absolute nightmare. It just flakes, it's sore. It's just not for me. Eventually I realized, although tretinoin is supposed to be really good for breakouts, and I do get a lot of breakouts around my chin, it's just not worth the flakiness, because that's even more difficult to cover with makeup. It's just not for me. So Skin and Me, I am a big fan. I have been using it for years. I did at some point when Ella was a teenager, I used to subscribe to one for her as well, and that really cleared up her acne. It is an expensive thing, but if you already use serums and various products that are like £20-30 a time. I feel like it's worth a go if you do have specific issues. If you're just like, you know, anti-aging, whatever, I don't know if it's that much of a thing. But if you've got acne, if you've got pigmentation, if you've got specific problems that you would like to address, I really think it's worth a try. It's just not really worth it if just regular skincare, you know, if it's not specific that you're wanting to deal with. Talking of breakouts, Sudocreme is my friend. I'm going to look absolutely crazy. I hope that the postman doesn't arrive exactly now. But this tends to be how I go to bed. So I do my moisturizer stuff, my Skin and Me. I know you're supposed to do these things in the other way around, but I buffer it. So my moisturizer stuff, my Skin and Me, I'll probably do another spray of my moisture as well. And if it's the winter, I might like lock it all in with a heavy moisturizer on top once it's all dried. But the bottom of my face, when I'm in a breakout phase, is all Santa Beard. This does something magical. It does something magical. It's not the same one. I've tried it. The little miniature one that you can get that's like a beauty cream, that's not the same. You want the original antiseptic healing cream. This is the one that you want. I now have a little mini one of these that I've scraped all the stuff out of, and I've put this in it because it is handy to have a small travel size for going away. But this, it's not pretty, but what do the kids say? You go to bed ugly to wake up cute. This isn't technically skincare, but I did include it in this. This is empty. But the Optrex Moisturizing Eye Drops for dry eyes. I have dry eyes now, and I was going to say the dentist. What would the dentist know about my eyes? The dentist told me it's because of perimenopause. That's lovely. So I can apparently get some eye drops prescribed from the GP, and that will be a lot cheaper than the amount of money that I spend on eye drops right now. Also, with the dry eyes, because it's like constant, it's just, I feel like there's no water in my eyes. I'm like doing this all the time. That can't be good for the wrinkles. This constant, like, cannot be good for the wrinkles. So this is my favorite one. But nothing really helps. Nothing really. I've tried some really fancy ones. The one with the weird pump, the red one, I can't remember what it's called, but everyone recommended it. It's like a gel. Didn't love it. I didn't love it. So, I don't know. I tried a heated eye mask. It's very difficult to just like commit to not being able to see for a while. Like, I want to be able to watch TV. I can't do anything when I'm wearing an actual eye mask. So I try and wear it at night, but then it will come off. It's a whole thing. So yeah, eye drops, they are my favourite ones. And then finally, going back to the whole thing of the hair removal, this post-shave serum from Primark, this is an unlikely hero here. And if anyone's got a different one that they can recommend, because this is heavily scented. This smells like watermelon. It smells like water shine. I mean, you should just go and buy this just for the smell, for the nostalgic millennial smell. Do you remember Maybelline water shine lipsticks? They were shimmery, and they were in like a kind of lilac tube. Absolutely beautiful. From, I don't know, maybe 2002-ish, I would guess. It smells exactly like that. So this is like an oil, and I will put it on as soon as I've shaved, plucked, epilated, whatever it is that I've done with my facial hair that day. I will just put a couple of drops on, moisturize around, and it really helps me to not get those breakouts. Sometimes you can't avoid them, and most of the time it's when I am shaving too many days in a row, or I have like let it grow out a little bit so that I can pluck them. You can't kind of avoid it. But when I'm using that consistently, there's definitely a diminished amount of breakouts that I get as a result of shaving. I had to take that off because that was too crazy to complete the video with my full evening Santa beard. Okay, I do have a mask that I want to talk to you about, but I'm going to show you that at the end because I can't talk to you while this is on, and I want to show you it in action. Right, hair. So, Head and Shoulders. I love Head and Shoulders in general, but this has become my absolute favourite. I like a clean feeling in my hair, and the Head and Shoulders does it. Clarify and shine, gently purifies scalp and hair. I buy this massive one from Amazon, which is really handy. I'd love a refill of this because I love that it's got a pump, but I don't think that they make a refill, which is crazy. I have refills for so many other things in the bathroom that why not? Why not? But I really, really like this. Lee likes regular Head and Shoulders, which I do as well, but I feel like this one doesn't strip my hair of the colour quite so quickly. Because obviously I have, it's not, I mean, I'm not going to put my hair down now because it's like, bleh. But my hair is blonde, but it's obviously got a toner on it and it gets more and more brassy as the colour is stripped. And so when I'm using regular Head and Shoulders, I feel like that happens more rapidly. Whereas with this one, I'm getting that clean feeling and it looks shinier, but I'm not getting that same, I feel like the colour is staying, but I don't know if that's just in my head. Either way, smells really nice, just 10 out of 10. And as my conditioner, because I don't tend to use conditioner, I'll use it here and there, but because my hair is fine, I prefer a leave-in conditioner. And this has been my favourite for the majority of the year. It's the Aussie Hair Insurance leave-in conditioner. It's just the, like, you know, old school Aussie. It smells exactly the same. Oh, like bubblegum. I love it so much. And yeah, just detangling. That's what I'm mostly using this for. And then if I'm going to style my hair in some way, I'll use whatever else. But I don't do that enough for there to be other styling products that I want to mention in this video. Something I have done enough this year to mention is just general Velcro rollers. So Velcro rollers with little pins. I've just done a whole video on how I do like a faux blowout with Velcro rollers. Like 200 people watched it. So if you want to go and watch that as well, enjoy. I made it specifically so that I could reference back to it, but you know, hardly anyone cares about that. So breezing past it, Velcro rollers are my one true love. And then finally, I've got I suppose I should probably mention Batiste. I don't have it right now, but Batiste and the blush, the pink, that has been my favorite this year. I've been trying to use less dry shampoo in the past couple of months. So I don't have it, but I do love it. I do love it. I've been through many, many, many of those this year. So Batiste, still my favorite. The Rapid Brow, which technically could be in the beauty section, but I feel is technically still hair. It is effective. It's expensive, but what you need to know about the Rapid Brow is you don't need to use it every single day. Use it every single day for like 3 or 4 weeks. You'll start to see a boost in your hair. And then you can knock it down to like once or twice a week. It's just maintenance then, because your hair cycles, like if you use it every single day, you're not going to benefit from it because those hairs are going to fall out and then you're going to get to start all over again, basically. You can use it every single day. I just think because it is so expensive, you can definitely be a bit smarter about it and use it less and still get the same exact effects. I've just started using it again after a couple of months off, and I'm definitely seeing a difference. I can't use these products on my eyes because, I don't know, my eyes must be really sensitive because whenever I've tried like Rapid Lash or whatever, it's made my eyes so red. I don't find that that is quite the same with brow products. I still maybe get slight irritation as I start using it for the first time after a little while and my skin gets used to it, but my eyes was absolutely never. So I would love to be able to use it because I think it's really, really effective and it works. But instead I stick to it on my brows. Ultimately, I am just trying to grow enough brows to make the pink microblading that's left over less obvious. And that's never going to happen, but it makes me feel like I'm doing something. Okay, finally, I have mentioned these multiple times before in vlogs, in favorites. These are the BioCollagen Real Deep Masks from Amazon, and they are a fraction of the price of other masks I have used like them in the past. They are those, well, I'll show you. It's one of those masks that you put on and then you wait for it to go clear. I'm really hoping, oh my God, why is it so difficult to open? I'm really hoping no one comes to the door because I do not want to take this mask off my face. I want to leave it to do its thing. So it is very, very thin and it goes on and it's like a milky white situation. And then it goes clear as your skin is absorbing it. Now, apparently you're supposed to leave these on overnight. I've done it. You can. As long as you leave, see, it's got a little bit there. You can see where it's like flipped down. I'm just going to leave that because it'll keep the stuff. It's the same situation as the eye masks that I showed you earlier. it stops it from evaporating quite so quickly if you leave any extra layers. Yeah, I've done it. You've got to wait until it's like really stuck onto your face to be able to sleep in it. But it is possible to do. When you take it off in the morning, I'm not convinced that that glow you're seeing is not just sweat from your skin underneath like a plastic sheet all night. I think that the best time to take this off is just before, like when it's starting to go clear, but it's not, like it's clear, but it's still soft. It's not gone completely dry, because once it's gone completely dry, it's going to start looking for moisture, isn't it? So is it not going to like leach all of the moisture back out of your skin to try and feed itself? I mean, I know it's not an alien, but that's how I see it. So I love these masks. It's obviously not getting enough attention. And then the final thing that I do with this, because there's so much product left in here, is I get as much of it out as I can. There's so much. I mean, if you weren't here right now, I'd be naked and I'd put it all over my body, but instead I just put it back onto my face to kind of rehydrate. I mean, ideally you do this and then you put the mask on, but there's so much leftover product that it's crazy to just leave that in the pocket. And now I'm going to lay on my heat pad and get some work done while this mask gets to work itself. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for many other things to come. We're going to talk about, obviously, makeup. We've got clothes and snacks and entertainment of the year. Can't wait. See you guys then.